They shouldn't be digging it up because it's dangerous. And all the animals, our great-grandmother and all that, grandmother, Jamus, they call him grandfather, they knew it was under the ground. And they used to talk to the white people many, many times, you know, tell them not to dig it up, leave it. And they never used to listen to them. And they're killing the little kids and all.
What I'm saying is I'm an Arabian person from Lake Eyre. Not far away from Lake Eyre is Roxby Downs, the biggest uranium mine in the world. It's due for expansion 3 times the size it is now. Very special sacred water is being used. 50 million litres per day is used to treat the uranium at Roxby Downs. That turn all our sacred lands, all our sacred minerals, sacred substance into a killer bomb. I am also a little bit sad that Japan is one of the buyers of this uranium.
So we're walking for the victory of the test of Maralinga, Emu Fields in Montebello, where the boys are still linger. Walk through and saw the missiles in the park, saw the old detention centre. Two blokes in the dark of the desert, night sky full of stars and drenched. People are asking why the system's falling apart. I'm saying, you say, here it's mighty, you live a voice in the light. Stop creating, stop
I was in the Air Force. I'd been in the Air Force for several years, and I was one day summoned to go to Maralinga. We were not told there was any danger, there was no radiation, there was no residual contamination, whatever. But they just told lies, literally lies. They used plutonium, beryllium, natural uranium, highly enriched uranium, Du-238, that's the stuff you hear about today. The highly dangerous part of all this was that they exploded it into the atmosphere. Once it escapes into the atmosphere in an explosion or a fire, it becomes death. It's a legacy that the British imposed. The Australian government was a compliant government that let them do it. There's 124 square kilometres out there contaminated with plutonium that's not been touched. It affects people in the most profound way, knowing that you were exposed. You just sit waiting, knowing one day it's going to strike.
Never give up, that is the place. Come a all of life to the garden, Jerry, me. just any island. It belongs to the Ngarrindjeri Meemenees. It shelters her from the stormy weather. Kumaraka's all of life to the Ngarrindjeri Meemenees. We sang that every time we protested or we did our long walk from Adelaide to Kumarak to the High Marshal. And when I think about you walkers and your strength and your walk for what you believe in, it's fabulous. We look at you and we think, sometimes we think we're going to give up, you know, but not when we see what you people are doing. Marina Budni, welcome to my country.
Thank you. This is Andorra. Who else?
London.
This is an old country, an old country, a timeless story. The land touches you, scratch the surface, 3, 4, 5 generations. You call it yours, but the land calls you. Warm earth, human faces, from ancient cultures, 1, 2 generations. Direct connection with ancient earth. Warm earth, human faces.
People from Pakistan and Japan and Ireland and America and a woman from Austria with us. So we're all learning from each other and it's an amazing experience. We're very honoured for you to have us here today. So thank you. So we're learning a lot from this pilgrimage and hopefully we're teaching people stuff along the way and talk to all the communities along the way about what's happening and learn from them about what's happening as well. We're going to walk another 10k, so anyone who wants to come with us is more than welcome.
Bomb thing. What if you walk all the way around like Japan and everything and they don't stop?
We're trying to spread the message and share our information that we know with lots of other people. So maybe we won't stop them today or tomorrow or in 5 years, but maybe 20 years down the track.
The world's great power and might brings knowledge to the fight. The slaughter of our youth no power can save. The Lord who gave us life, surely he don't think it's right. But man should kill and take your life he gave. When the roll is called in God's great meeting hall, and with justice equal one and all, will you see your name on God's great honor roll? Or won't your name be written on the wall? Or won't your name be written on the wall?
I have been sitting here holding back tears just listening to your stories. I'm 53 years of age, and for my life I have been, I think, frustrated with my life. One, that I've never had the courage to do what any of you have done. I've got the passion, I do what I do, but I've just sat here thinking, it's nothing. I'm really pleased that one of you said you're doing it for the rest of us who aren't out there, because thank you, and please keep going.
Part of this is really acknowledging whose land we're walking on. I just want to say thank you for having us on your land.
If you just want to go out to the central Deborah gold mine, where are my people gone? And where is our land? This mine is built on the blood of our people. Industry brings thousands of dollars a year while our people are surviving genocide.
Peace is the only way. Whoa, we say peace is here to stay. Peace is the only way. Peace is here to stay. So we pray for a peaceful way. Whoa, we wake up to a brighter day. So we pray for a peaceful way. And we wake up to a brighter day. But Jah Jah say no, no to violence. Jah Jah say no, no to war. Jah Jah say stand strong with truth, peace and love in your heart. Cause the truth is worth rising up for. Because the truth is worth rising up for. Because the truth is worth rising up for.
The uranium being pulled out of Roxby Downs is going and polluting the whole world.
And so I walk for the truth to be told.
For spirit, for people and for this land.
No more waste, no more weapons, no more mining, no industry whatsoever.
We're all working together in the struggle.
Do you know why we are folding these cranes? In Japan, my mother used to tell me an old story about 1,000 cranes. Each crane holds your prayer of hope. And when we fold 1,000 of these cranes, one wish will come true.
I introduce my parents and where they come from and who I am. I'm on this walk to try to tell people how dangerous the poison. I call it the poison. The old women in the desert call it poison. When you take out something from the ground and mix it with something else to make a bomb they use for nuclear, even power and all that. They don't know what to do with the waste. So they're going to try and put it back into the ground to where we get our water supplies and that from, and we drink it, and all those little birds and everything else drinks it, and people die from that. I've been talking for many years now to all these big people. They don't seem to be listening too much, so it's time to talk to you little people now. So it's important that you know what's happening in the world and why we're doing this.
My name is Aurelio Dinasha. I'm from the Lakudere Reservation in the Turtle Island, better known as the United States. As we walk on this are called our Mother, the Earth.
Ada pelajaran poin. Karena bela memang kami.
Thank you very much for coming here. You take your messages with your stories from Uncle Kevin Buzzacott's country about the war against the uranium, about how we're trying to stop the poisoning of the country out there, the sacred country. So with those stories, you take our stories of the 10 Embassy and say that we're still fighting. And that's why the 10 Embassy is still here. There will never be any peace here in our land until our sovereignty, our connection, our birthright is recognised. So you take those stories, and when you go, the ancestor spirits, our great spirits, and the fire, you take the ashes with you, and it will protect and guide you. Thank you.
Yeah, my dad's all about.
The flame comes from Hiroshima. It was lit after the atomic bomb and has been burning for the last 59 years. So it's a great honour for us to be able to carry that here and bring these two sacred healing fires together.
So join in our prayers for peace and justice. And our prayers are with you.
Have this group arriving in Canberra this week, and particularly today, when we are 1 week has occurred since the latest of the spills of uranium from Ranger Mine up in Kakadu National Park in the Northern Territory. Workers at Jabalika were drinking and showering in contaminated water, had levels of uranium of it 400 times above the appropriate level.
Friend, Yami Lester, who was blinded by the bomb that was dropped on Maralinga. And the uranium for that bomb came from my father's country, Kungarakan country, where Rum Jungle is. What has happened at Ranger had happened at Rum Jungle, and it's been covered up all these years.
Yeah, we walked across Australia, through cities and towns, all the way to the 10 Embassy, from old Roxby down, talking to communities, talking about peace, walking for evolution, walking to release our minds from the grime, life from trinated slime, talking about evolution with these timely rhymes, because the world will be full of disease and destruction, unless peaceful people take peaceful action.
Fishing boat that was in Bikini Atoll near Marshall Islands in 1954, and the hydrogen bomb was dropped by America. It was affected by radiation from the fallout of the bomb. Supposed to be a peaceful time after war, after the experience of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yami Lester, my friend, and included with all these other people that have suffered from the atomic hydrogen bomb.
Never
the first indication of the accident is called burst. Local residents were told to be home, so no one evacuated from this area. This is the JCO nuclear fuel factory. Mr. and Mrs. Oizumi were living and working only 130 meters away from this building at the time of the accident.
現在ですね、話前後しますけれども、5年経った今日ですね、私今現状も病院内をやっております。私以上にですね、私の家内の方がひどい状況、受けまして、うつ病というような精神的な問題にですね、現在も治療中でございます。で、これ誤診っていうか誤診なんですけれども、現在市内の病院通院しておりますけれども、内容がですね把握できない質問ですから、東京の方へですね行かれまして診断をして、現実にPTSD であるというふうに診断されたわけですね。
I'm a mother of 2 children. I and my family are living in a small house just 2 kilometers away from the JCO. There are about 10 schools from kindergarten to junior high schools within a range of 2 kilometers, 2 hours and 30 minutes after. The critical accident was noticed by the officials. Some men in gas masks and white protective wears, they started to count the level of the radiation in the schoolyard. Some innocent students were watching them from the window. Some started sobbing, saying, "Are we going to die?" Little bit after 4 o'clock, students were instructed to go home. It started to rain hard. They said the critical situation over. Somebody should have done to the students what was needed for them. Who is somebody? Watching my daughter came home, soaking wet. I realized that somebody could be no one but me.
そういうような状況の中でですね、私はもうこれは絶対先ほどもお話ししましたけど、私たちがもうこれを手を引いてしまえばですね、もう完全に今回の事故というものはもう風化されてしまうというようなことですから、もう現実に667名の方がですね被害を受けてるわけですよ。ですからその人たちのためにもですね、最後まで私は頑張るつもりでおるわけです。
At the time of the Tokai accident, I was living with Arabana people at Roxby Downs. We were trying to stop uranium shipments from this mine coming to Japan. When we heard about Tokai, we were all very upset because to them it was like they had poisoned you themselves. You have given us strength to keep fighting or keep resisting to stop this uranium coming out, and we will try our hardest.
全世界の被爆者は実は非常に孤独です。その気持ちに寄り添ってくれる今の言葉に本当に頭の中で感動しています。
皆さんこんにちは。私はこの札幌のハッダムのコンペと申します。今晩はですね、平和巡礼の記載を記載しましたところですね、このように1000人ぐらい多くの皆さんが集まっていただいてありがとうございます。昨日2300キロ通訳さんがいましたのでもう旅をしてですね、苫小牧の小に着きました。私はこの平和巡礼団をですね、迎えるにあたって、私は1945年生まれです。ちょうど私が生まれた時に広島、長崎に原爆が落とされて、今もなおかつその後遺症に悩んでいる人が60年経ってもなおかつ後遺症に悩んでいる人がまだたくさんおります。
ここにいる皆さんは皆さんご存知のように、核は私たちの命とか未来を奪うものだと思います。また、原子力発電所から出るゴミの中のプルトニウムが余るからと、それをモックス燃料に加工して、今話のありました大間というところに新しい原子力発電所を建てようとしています。で本当に函館から近くて、プルトニウムという危険なものを使う、そういうのは利用するものではないと思っているので、私たちは特に大間原発に反対しています。それで私たちも広島とか長崎で被爆した人たちの体験を通してその苦しみとか悲しみを知ったように、私たちもそういう人の話を次の世代に伝えていくことが求められていると思います。
ここのむつ市はお金がないので、そういう各施設を持ってくればお金をたくさん国が出してくださるという、そういうメリットを大人たちが要求しました。They made this leaflet about the storage site. They've been bringing this to every household here in Mutsu and engage with the community to raise awareness. 6,000 metric tons of the spent fuel will be stored at this facility. They say they're going to store this highly toxic and radioactive materials here in Mutsu for 50 years. And after 50 years, they're going to bring it to Rokasha to reprocess.
Today we're going to meet the council members who have invited a nuclear waste dump into this wonderful little town.
The storage site, they can make the plutonium that's worth 10,000 Nagasaki atomic bomb.
ここまで来た段階で6カ所の住民だとか青森の県民はほとんど諦めのムードが漂ってますけども、これはもう6カ所だけの問題じゃないし、青森県の問題だけじゃないし、本当に日本中世界中の人たちが力を貸してほしいなっていう本当に切に思っています。以上で終わります。6カ所村で初めて住民も対象にした再処理工場が事故に遭ったっていうことを想定しての避難訓練が行われました。これをだんだん見ながら何年前かな、東海村で実際に、JCO 事故があった場面を本当に想像して、全く同じような光景だっていうふうにだんだんなんかこう気がつくうちに本当に息苦しくなってきました。
Wakasho and El Mori and this area has a huge potential for an accident. It takes a lot of courage to stand up to these big corporations to close them down.
Nuclear industry continues to dispossess people of their land.
平和のために歩きたいとか、ウランが日本に送られてこないように、ために歩きたいと思います。
ピースウォークでいらっしゃる、しかもこの山奥の大川村までいらっしゃったことによって、我々小さなコミュニティの人間でも声を上げることができるんだという勇気をいただいたと思います。
私が、マイネーム郷司志村で、今日皆さんと、これからも核のない世界に向かって私の命の続く限り、私は今女房と2人でおりますけども、ずっと一生死ぬまでこの運動を続けていきたいと思います。
He's 78 years old, but the nuclear power plant, the movement to shut down the nuclear power plant only started 37 years ago. So he considered himself 37 years old and then keep fighting to shut it down. The one word that really stayed with me was, he said, the ocean is a treasure. but not just for them, but for whole world.
So I'm walking on behalf of all the people who have been affected in the past, who are affected currently and may be affected in the future by the nuclear industry, and I'm walking towards what I hope will be a nuclear-free future.
原子力発電所が運転を開始して33年になります。日本の双葉郡というのは環境汚染、それから労働者被爆、そして町の衰退、それから自治体への借金、前途は誠に暗いものがあります。
I come from New Zealand.
彼女はニュージーランドの出身。
I really hope to bring a story of hope to Japan, because New Zealand is a nuclear-free zone, so there is no nuclear plants.
The walks, well, they're very hard to do. I think you grow inside, so you become stronger from the people you walk with. So you talk with them, and you visit every day. I know you've been doing it for 5-6 months now. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. The message that you had last night, that message shouldn't be confined to just the small communities that you come to. It should be given to Australia. It should be given to Japan. It should be given to America. It should be given to South Africa, the Middle East.
Biggest on the world.
John, how will you tell the future about the waste gone? Will your children understand that it's their responsibility? Will your children understand that it's their responsibility?
And we're all walking because we're learning and learning. So one day we can teach.
No weapon!
And this one.
Oh, yeah. This one. Middle. Waste dump. Nuclear waste dump. Nuclear farm.
Yeah, they take the waste by ship.
Only this area rice farmer.
And this waste dump.
Where are we now? Which place on this?
This one has 6 balls.
A professional person has to talk to a professional person, whereas the regular citizen like us, we cannot understand his technical terms. So obviously, what he says, we cannot take in, only because we don't know. It could be the source of killing thousands of people. It could be the source of murdering.
Well, you should research that information because you're killing people in Australia.
Here, he says, well, because a lot of it is not than anything else, we are working on this. And she says, you're only here for money, but we are here to prove that life is more important. How do they waste thousands and thousands and thousands of years? Is that fair? Is that just? Is that responsible to leave that for our children?
Australia is now one of the largest suppliers of uranium to the nuclear industry. So some of that's going to end up out here if they build the waste dump. So we want to come here to show support. And you should know that the things that you have accomplished here and the things that you continue to accomplish are inspiring thousands of people all throughout the world. So stay strong and keep going. I wish we could stay here forever.
Where Father Moon here started his 40-day hunger strike.
Resulting about 200 days of strike that went on. This place we make our own newspaper, our local newspaper made by us, telling about our story.
原爆について小さい頃からいろいろ親から聞かされてきたし、本でも読んでてどういうものかっていうのを知ってたつもりでいたから、原爆っていうのはなった方がいいなと思うし、戦争を今日本が自衛隊派遣とかいろいろおかしなことが起きてて、そういうのを変えたいなって思ったのもあって。
Nagasaki, and it's up to us to take the message from Australia to them, because we are guilty too, because we send the poison here, the uranium, to Japan. Not us, the Australian government. So we have to change the government. Same as Nippon has to change their government, change their ways of thinking, using different power. But the only way we're going to do that is through people like you and the temples.
いろんな立場でもしっかり国民の一人なんで、これからもこの世代として本当の意味での人に喜ばれる仕事、責任っていうものを果たして
あるいは数日前は台風や大雨の中をですね、広島まで遠路をはるばる歩いてこられたということでございます。皆様の世界平和に対するご尽力、あるいは熱意に心より敬意をしたいと思っております。
原爆ドームまで最後今日歩きました。
して原爆ドームに着いた時、空に虹が出ていました。とても美しい虹で、神様がみんなを見ててくれて、この流れを世の中に広めていけるというメッセージなんじゃないかと、その虹を見て思いました。
The poison was sent to Japan to power the nuclear industry and will eventually kill a lot of your people. I want to take this opportunity to apologise to the people of Japan. Like I said, we have no control. The government just takes what they want in Australia.
I'm an Arabian person, greetings, how are you? And I come in good spirit. It's like a test, but at the same time it was like dropping bombs on people because the effect went all around the country. And again, also what happened here, the bomb dropping here, also to the people who was affected here, again, we apologise to them. We do understand the pain and the suffering that happened here all those years. It's the same thing out there. It doesn't end there because it happened 50 years ago, or some of the people, the kids and that weren't around in days. But it doesn't go away. Trust me, it just doesn't go away. It goes on to generation after generation after generation.
広島ではこれをピカドンと申します。パッと光った瞬間の温度は何度だと思いますか？100万度ですよ。地獄を連想したら皆さんいいと思います。焼けた人ばっかり。薬はないんです。つける薬もないんです。飲む薬もないんです。ただもう水を求めていく人ばっかりです。
Yesterday at the Atkinson conference, today again at the Hiroshima Memorial, I heard about stopping the bomb in the year 2020. That's all well and good, but if we're going to stop it pretty quick, we have to stop it now, and the only way to do that is to stop uranium mining. I have for the factory here that buys uranium from Roxby down. I have to ask them to explain to them that it is a very sacred country that they are destroying there, helping WMC destroy us. Big anniversary today, it would be good, because we're all looking for peace, it would be good if this company can announce today that they are not buying Roxby down uranium anymore from WMC.
The indigenous peoples across this world have been affected, been raped, Mother Earth been beat up, our ceremonies have been destroyed, our languages have been destroyed, our communities have been destroyed. Thousands of nuclear testings around the world on indigenous peoples have killed, murdered many of our peoples.